Hello class 2, welcome back to maths class. Today in this class we are going to continue with chapter number 9. In the last class I introduced you about standard units and non-standard units. Now you remember about non-standard units which were discarded and those were finger, hand span, cubit, foot, etc. Okay. Now we are going to proceed further. And in this class, we will be learning about standard units. If you remember in the last class also, I gave you a little introduction about standard units. Standard units are what? Standard units are those units which are used to measure length, capacity and weight. Okay. For example, for measuring length, we use the standard unit meter. And for measuring capacity, the standard unit which we use is liter, and the standard unit for measuring weight is kg. So today we are going to learn about the measurement of length. What are the different units used to measure length, and what is the standard unit of length, and how do we do the sums related to length, measure of length. Okay. So let us start the class. As you can see on the board, I have written the standard unit of length is meter, M-E-T-R-E. Now in some cases M-E-T-E-R also accepted. Okay, spelling, don't get confused, both spellings are correct and both are accepted. Now when we have to write the abbreviation or the short form for meter, we use small letter. Alright. Now see, for measuring length means we measure the distance between one point to another point. Like for example, this is a book, and the length, suppose if I want to measure the longer length and the shorter length, that is the breadth and the length. So what am I doing? For measuring breadth, I have to start from this point to this point. Okay. For measuring length, I have to start from this point to this point. So what am I actually measuring? I am measuring the length of the sides of the book. Okay. And in this case, for measuring length, we use certain devices. Some instruments are there with which we can measure the length. Like very common example is, you must have seen in your pencil box you get a scale. Small scale, big scale, okay, which we call ruler. We call it scale or we call ruler. So with the help of ruler or scale, small scale, we measure small objects, the sides or the length of small objects. Suppose we have to measure a piece of cloth. Okay, I want to measure this. Then to measure a piece of cloth, which instrument or which device do we use? We use the inch tape. Okay, you must have seen tailors using the inch tape. Okay, a tape, measuring tape, which is made up of at times plastic. It is also made up of metal. Okay, nowadays we have a measuring tape of in different material. Alright, so we get to see this measuring tape with the tailors using the cloth. They use it for measuring the cloth, okay, the length of the cloth. Now for example, we want to measure a little longer distance, say carpenters. You must have seen the carpenters, they have a this small measuring tape which is made up of metal. You can pull it up, okay, and you can just reduce the size also, and that is used by the carpenters to measure the length of any particular wooden plank or any object like that. Okay. There are other instruments also to measure the length, like meter rod. There is one meter rod. 1 meter rod is there, which is made up of, again I think it is made up of iron, and it is used by the tailors also. I have seen tailors using this meter rod for measuring the the length of cloth. Okay, and it's also used for other purposes also. Now these are the small objects which we can measure with the help of these instruments. Suppose if we want to measure the length of the road, okay, distance between one place to another place. So in that case, what are we going to do? We will measure the longer distance or the longer lengths in kilometer unit, because kilometer unit is the larger unit. The largest unit to measure the length is kilometer. Okay, and we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter. I will explain you that also. Let us try to understand. Small units, to measure the small units we use centimeter unit, cm. To measure the longer unit or the larger distance we use kilometer, and meter is the standard unit. Okay, meter, this unit can be used to measure any this distance, and this is basically the standard unit of length. Now let us try to understand something more about this unit of length. We know that 1 meter is equal to how many centimeter? 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. Okay, you should write this in your copy. Now 1 kilometer is equal to how much meter? We know 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter. Alright, if I want to write, okay, so 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter, right? 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter. When we are measuring any length, now in your class, you will be dealing with meter and centimeter, That means you are using the smaller units to measure the length of any object. Okay. Now, based on that, if you go through your book, you see on page number 115, to measure the small units, to measure the small objects, centimeter scale is used, and to measure the larger units or larger distance, we use kilometer unit. Okay, so to measure the small distance or small the length, okay, we can use the scale which we have with us. But if you want to measure a very long distance, a very large distance, we cannot do that with the scale. We have to use some other measuring units. So for measuring the length between two places or distance between two places, we have to take the help of units called kilometer. So this kilometer is the highest unit for measuring the distance or length between 2 points. Now you can see here on page number 116. In 116, some questions are given based on addition. Find the sum. You can see here, find the sum. Now meter is bigger than centimeter, and kilometer is biggest then, bigger than all both of these, meter also centimeter. So kilometer is the biggest one, okay, then comes the meter, and then comes the centimeter. Centimeter among these three is the smallest unit. Alright, now let us do this sum given on page number 116. Find the sum. Okay, now you have the length, for example, meter and centimeter. You make two columns. You must be having, you are using your 4 squares box copies. So you can do one thing. In one of the line you write meter, and another line you write centimeter. At least it should be like, one gap you leave here, and then in this way, like this. Okay, and in the squares you write the answers. Alright, say for example in one box you write, I have written in this way. Okay, just let me make the boxes small, otherwise I will not be able to show you the addition. Okay, now let us do this way. So the first question is already done, but still I will show you. It is 20, let me write here, 28 meter, okay, and how much centimeter? 38 centimeter, right? Then next 11 meter, meter should be written under meter, centimeter value will be written under centimeter value, and it is 43. Now do the addition. 8 plus 3, 11. Carry over addition we have to use. Now 1 will be carried here. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 1, 9. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So answer will be 39 meter 81 centimeter. This is your answer. Like this you will do. Now here in the book there is no space given to write the answer. But when you are doing this kind of sum in your copy, you should always write the answer. Okay. Now based on this meter and centimeter, some more sums are given on page number 170. Find the difference between. So as we have learned how to do the addition, similarly we will be doing find the difference. Okay, let us do that one sum. Find the difference. Find the difference means minus, subtraction. Okay, so we will be learning subtraction of meters and centimeters. Again just leave like that same column. Meter, centimeter. Okay. Alright. Now the first question is already done. I will be doing the same question. 99 meter 52 centimeter. Subtract 18 meter 25 centimeter. Let us do this subtraction. Okay, we will subtract. 2 cannot be subtracted from 5. Okay, sorry. Yeah, 2 cannot be subtracted in this way. 2 is smaller and 5 is bigger. So 5 cannot be subtracted from 2. So what we have to do, we have to borrow. This will become 1 and this will become 12. 12 minus 5 can be done. So it comes 7 here. 4 minus 2 is 2. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. Okay. So your answer is what? 81 meter 27 centimeter. Like that you have to complete page number 116 and 117 both. Alright. And what problems also you can do by yourself. So you can do page number 116, 117 and 118. Alright. Let me explain you on page number 118. The first sum is already done to you, for you, okay. Second sum, Rahul has 12 meter 30 centimeter and Avinash has 18 meter 45 centimeter long rope. Find the total length. Total, whenever the word total is given, you have to add. Second question, Megha bought 17 meter 45 centimeter and Neha bought 12 meter 25 centimeter of ribbon. They both have brought two different sizes of ribbon. How much ribbon did they buy together? Together means all together, again addition. Now, third question. A shopkeeper had 98 meter 96 centimeter of cloth. Okay, this was the total length of the cloth which shopkeeper had. he sold 89 meter 45 centimeter of cloth out of that total. How much cloth is left? Now the word left means we have to subtract. The last question, a copper wire measures 16 meter 25 centimeter and an iron wire measures 25 meter 32 centimeter. Which wire is longer and by what length? So which wire is longer? How will you find out which wire is longer? Of course, by finding the difference between both. And how can we find the difference? By subtracting. So once we subtract, we can know that which wire, by how much the wire is longer. Okay. And whose wire is longer? We can see this copper wire is. Which wire is longer? Copper wire is longer than the iron wire. But how much, by how much it is longer, that you have to subtract and find out. Okay. So you will be completing page number. Your homework will be to complete page number 116, 117 and 118. So these 3 pages you will complete in your book. At the same time, in the copy, the board work which I do on the board, please complete that also. You must write that also in your classroom. Alright children, I hope you have understood the concept of measuring the length. I am repeating once again. Length is the distance between the 2 points. What do we measure in length? We measure the distance between the 2 points. Now to measure the length, the standard unit is meter. Smaller unit, to measure the smaller objects, we use centimeter scale. And to measure the larger distance, okay, we use kilometer unit. Okay, and based on that, you have to complete these 3 pages in your book itself. Okay, that's all children. I hope you have understood the concept, and if you have any doubt, please ask me, and do practice at home. Stay safe, stay well.